Hi, welcome to Uproarious. I'm Rory. I'm a mental health educator, and in my job, I help people become better versions of themselves by learning skills to understand themselves and others better. Normally, my students have to have insurance, a referral from a therapist or a case manager of some kind, and often have to also be in psychiatric care. That's just the nature of the medical system and the requirements put on by insurance and other things to pay for services like those that I provide in my normal work. This channel is an effort for me to bring the education and skills that I teach every week to every home on the internet, to everybody, regardless of their ability to pay, their ability to maintain insurance or employment, their access to medical care, psychiatric care, therapy, or case management. The skills that I'm going to teach are based on various programs. Some of them are based on dialectical behavioral therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy. There are going to be skills and information that are based on physiology, anatomy, and psychology in general. And then there's going to be skills that are based on what humans have learned over the last several thousand years, and we've recorded and shared with each other. The subjects that I'm going to cover in each video will be pretty narrow, but they'll all be connected to each other and often intertwined. So you can find in the description of each video a link to a relevant post on uproarious.com where I will have information like how does this interact with another skill? What scientific data is there that this works? Why do we do it the way that I talk about it in the video? If you learn better through written word rather than audio or video, you can also find most of the information, if not all of it, in those articles on uproarious.com. My goal is to make this as accessible as possible for everyone, so there will be closed captions on the videos, but there will also be a text version of each topic. For my first wave of content, I'm going to focus on exercises that anyone can do anywhere they are to ground themselves, to understand themselves better, to understand their emotional reactions, their physical responses they have to their environment and other people, things like that. The basic idea with these exercises is that we will use them in many different ways over time to help us develop new skills. My videos are going to come from a lot of different angles. They're going to try to reach as many people as possible and to provide different pathways to the same goals. So if an exercise or way of thinking of things doesn't work for you, just watch another video and look for things that do work for you. Sometimes we do need to adjust our beliefs and we do need to push ourselves when we're not comfortable, but the goal is to find exercises that are comfortable for you, that you can build on over time and maintain over time. If there's something that's painful for you to do or uncomfortable in some way, I don't want you to force yourself to do it because it's not going to be sustainable long term. Try another exercise. There are going to be different categories of skills that we build on over time, and you'll find videos in different playlists for these things. The first one will be for understanding ourselves, which includes grounding and recognizing what our experience is in any given moment. Another will focus majorly on emotion and what we use to describe emotion and what emotions look like when we experience them, as well as what they feel like. The next section after that will go into interpersonal connection, so communication, relationship building, anything like that, where we are trying to build or end relationships with others, whether that's family, friends, coworkers, you name it. The final set of skills that we'll be working on overall is going to be for managing emergencies. And this looks different to everyone. An emergency for me might look like not knowing where my car keys are or having misplaced something important. An emergency for you may think of a medical emergency or your car is broken down. These skills are to help us regulate ourselves, communicate with others, and achieve objectives when we are facing an emergency. The last thing I want you to know is that I'm not doing this for money. This is a passion for me. A core value for me is education, and another core value for me is equitability. And knowing that my services as an educator are locked behind insurance makes me very uncomfortable. So I've come to YouTube so that anyone can watch my content without a subscription, without insurance, without any kind of barrier to getting that education for themselves. My only goal is for you to be able to make yourself into who you want to be and give you the skills to navigate life. Hey, thanks for watching my video. If you like the material in this video, check the description below for a link to my website. Thanks again for stopping by. Remember to be kind to yourself and others.